He has defeated 8 current Hall of Famers inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He is the 8th Division World Champion. Please welcome back to the sport of boxing, the legend Manny Pacquiao!
Balahi, yung sumbang.
Ingat tangan, human na nga.
I miss boxing. I'm excited for the fans to give a good fight. Boxing is my passion. The way I train, the way I work hard to make sure that I can give a good fight to the fans.
Boys and girls, boxing fans, and casual spectators who only showed up because Netflix is free with your sister's password. Gather around because something absolutely unhinged is happening in the world of combat sports. Manny Pacquiao, the man who was supposed to be retired,
Hard, you have to defend his belt. I'm a challenger, so I have to make more extra mile to punish myself and able to win the fight. And that's my goal. I'm not underestimating my opponent. I have to make sure that I'm 100% conditioned. I'm still here. Manny Pacquiao.
relaxing on a beach in the Philippines, maybe running a country or something, has decided that peace and quiet are simply not for him.
Michael Ren! We're not done yet.
Mo na siya. Kita pwede mo kumbes dari anak ka rin. Awan yun.
Last 30 seconds.
He has looked retirement dead in the eyes, said not today, and dragged Floyd Mayweather. Yes, that Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated, untouchable, money-counting legend.
Before he wants an exhibition with me, but I disagree, and I don't want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So this is it. Like this is what I'm waiting for.
Of course, boxing is boxing. You know, it's really hard sport. When laziness comes to your body, to your mind, then stop boxing. Forget about boxing. But as long as you dedicated, you have fire, you have, you have interest to punish yourself like that, for hard work, you enjoy doing hard work, training like that, discipline, then go for it. Like continue boxing. You know.
Yeah.
But
if you do that, you'll be successful.
Of course. But something like comes to your mind, like especially in the middle of like preparation, like let's say 2 months after 1 month training, it's like tired, like lazy.
Back into the ring for a rematch that nobody asked for, everybody secretly wanted, and absolutely no one can stop talking about. This is not a drill. This is not a fever dream.
It come to my mind, my heart, like I'm busy, I'm tired. Then forget about boxing. Yeah, right? But as long as you have passion, dedication.
You still have fire, then yeah.
Yes, of course. But look at your body also, because sometimes your mind is active, but your body
Says no. Mine stopped a long time ago.
So that's why I'm trying. I'm trying to push myself, but God is stopping.
This is Pacquiao versus Mayweather 2, And the audacity alone deserves a standing ovation. Let's start with Manny, because honestly,
Sakit niya pag basag. Utot yung paa mo.
Very heavy place. Heavy place.
Kuha pag yun sa nila. Pahugot sumay mo.
Time. Give it time, J-Bun. I did that mine on 45 seconds. Go. Got it. Go. Time.
this man is operating on a frequency that the rest of us simply cannot access. Pacquiao has come out swinging, not just in the gym, but in interviews and press conferences, in every single breath he takes.
Floyd will ever be a stationary target. I think Manny knows that. I don't think Floyd by any means is an easy fighter, or an easy opponent. Yeah, don't expect Floyd to be a stationary target. That's not Floyd. Floyd is Floyd. I mean, there's a reason why he's nicknamed the greatest of all time. There's a reason why he's the GOAT. There's a reason why he's 50-0. And there's a bigger reason why he's agreed to step back in the ring, and that's because Floyd is Floyd. And Manny's Manny, Floyd is Floyd, and Floyd's not just gonna step into something knowing that, Floyd plays to win, as does Manny.
Making it crystal clear that his passion for boxing hasn't just survived, it has absolutely thrived. He is not here for nostalgia. He is not here to collect a check and shuffle around the ring for 12 rounds, pretending to throw punches. No, no, no. Manny Pacquiao has looked the world.
Considering Floyd's 49 and Manny's 47.
I mean, the testing, I mean, the medicals and stuff are the same. It's the standard full physical MRI, MRA, the eye exam, blood, EKG. So very standard, like what it is typically. They're getting insurance, so that's not a problem, right? So that there's no concerns or any issues there. You also have to look at their history, right? Their history is, look at how many fights they've done, look at how they've performed. They've always shown up. They haven't been, they're not flight risks. So we have to go back in the history and look at it. And of course, you see Manny's performance was great.
Yeah, and going back to the first fight, drug testing was a big sticking point for Floyd, right? Is there going to be drug testing for this fight?
In the face, and declared that his brain has never once told him he is tired. His brain has never told him he is tired. Let that sink in for a moment.
Time out.
While the rest of us are exhausted from simply existing, Manny Pacquiao's central nervous system is out here operating like a finely tuned sports car with 0 miles on the odometer. The man is built different, and he wants you to know it. And here's where it gets even more dramatic, because Pacquiao didn't just agree to fight Floyd Mayweather. He demanded. Demanded that it be a real fight, a professional bout, an actual, legitimate, sanctioned contest where the gloves come off metaphorically while they stay on literally.
That's one thing I don't do. I don't talk about no other athletes' money. I don't do that.
By the way, my hope is that Floyd isn't going broke. So and if, by the way, and if he is, that he makes all the money in the world for a Pacquiao fight and rides off into the sunset a rich man. I wish him the best.
I want to fight somebody. I don't care about the money and all that. You know,
Who you want him to fight?
That's not good with Pacquiao. Pacquiao just drew with Barrios.
Yeah, and you see what he look like?
Yeah, because they're not on that level anymore.
So what do you think's going to happen here, though? What do we think's going to happen in Mayweather-Pacquiao? Are you interested in it?
Yep.
Is it a good fight?
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Yeah, watch it. The first one was awful, but now they're 50 years old. Let's see it.
But why though? But you didn't like the first time he fought.
No, I didn't.
I'm not going to watch the second
You
one.
didn't like that match?
No, the first fight.
Yeah, I forgot.
So when it wasn't grandpa's,
I know you
when it
didn't
wasn't
like it.
grandpa's,
By the way,
I didn't like it.
that fight went more or less how I thought it would go. I always thought it would go that way. I didn't like the fact that it was a diminished.
Who's your favorite fighter, Pacquiao or Floyd? Come on, we know it's Pacquiao.
I don't know.
Pacquiao.
Actually, Floyd. Watching Floyd fight is actually more my style of that perfect boxer.
That's what
when I do a pound for pound ranking, I'm trying to be objective. Pacquiao jumped more weight classes. What he did pound for pound to me was more impressive.
But you have him over Floyd.
But I never thought Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd ever.
But
never
Pacquiao,
thought
he's one of my favorite fighters.
Who?
Floyd and Pacquiao, they're one of my favorite fighters. But I still want
Floyd's
to see
the longer, bigger, better defensive fighter.
Right.
You know.
But let's be real, what this is all about, business. This is going to be a mega event. Doesn't matter how old they are. They're the two biggest names in boxing.
Apparently, Mayweather had the audacity to float the idea of an exhibition match, one of those soft, fan-friendly showcases where nobody gets hurt and everyone goes home with a participation trophy.
You know, that one was also a little bit too late, and they didn't really fight with that passion and fire. It was more like, I'll dance, you dance, and if nobody gets hurt, we both win, you know? And that's not really what fans want to see. Having said that, the first time around was for the championship of the world. Floyd was champion. You know, Pacquiao was challenging him. I think Floyd had the WBC title at the time, so on and so forth. And you know what I say about, and at the time, it was still a fight that was viable within the whole world landscape of the welterweight division. This time around, it's not really a viable fight within the landscape of the welterweight division. But it's like I always complain about Canelo. As long as you don't take the belts with you and hold them hostage, and the sanctioning bodies allow you to hold them hostage, I don't mind guys doing this kind of thing. You know, let's face it. Is it the only time we've seen this? We've seen this time and again. I mean, Leonard.
Manny Pacquiao looked at that suggestion and said absolutely not. He wants blood, metaphorically speaking. He wants a real fight, real stakes, real competition. He wants to give fans what they paid for the first time and didn't quite get. And speaking of the first time, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. The albatross around boxing's neck.
Hearns in the third fight with Duran, you know, so you know, and I think those sold pretty well, pretty good as well. You know, people got into it. Were they kind of duds? Yeah, I mean, the third Duran and Larin fight at the Mirage, people kind of are probably more forgetful about it. But regardless, the nostalgia aspect of it, like the champ said, is going to attract people. It's gonna you know, make people curious. There's also the aspect of it where the new fan base is always curious about the old-time fighters, which is why Tyson always gets views even today, because people are always curious about the Mike Tyson mystique, the Mike Tyson effect. So people that weren't able to be alive and wake up the morning of a Mike Tyson fight to know what that feels like, you know, want to feel that today. I promise you, it's nothing like it was in 1989 with Tyson, no matter what you guys want to feel. But regardless, I think
fight that generated over $400 million and somehow still managed to put people to sleep. Their 2015 clash was, to put it diplomatically, underwhelming. To put it less diplomatically, it was a masterclass in defensive boxing from Mayweather.
Also probably in April, but in a different location. And it sets them up on the same time schedule where if they're going to do a rematch, September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas. The fact that Netflix is doing it is not surprising at all. That's always been what they've been talking about doing. I think both fighters and everybody involved understands that it's one thing when everybody wanted to see the fight in 2015, he put it on pay-per-view and it's going to be a blockbuster, which it was. They charged $100 for the pay-per-view, the biggest price ever for a pay-per-view. And it set every conceivable record that you could think of in terms of gate, boxing, pay-per-view buys, overall revenue, the sponsorships, the merchandise. You pick a metric and it broke the record. That would not be the case now, 11 years down the road. You know, since they first fought in 2015. So they needed somebody to put up big money, and it really fits the profile.
And a heartbreaking display of missed opportunities from Pacquiao, who, as it was later revealed, was fighting through a significant shoulder injury the entire time. The world paid historic amounts of money for that fight. The world felt cheated. And now, somehow, impossibly, there is a rematch. And whether you like it or not, you are going to watch it. Now let's talk about the man on the other side of the ring, because Floyd Mayweather doesn't do anything without a strategy.
Maybe not for guys like me or you who are involved in doing boxing related stuff on a daily basis, but for the regular person that's scrolling through Netflix to see what's on a weekend night, they're going to look and say, oh, Mayweather, Pacquiao, I know those guys. They're as famous as any boxers in the world. And if it doesn't cost me any extra money and I'm just paying my normal subscription, yeah, I'll check it out. And it's going to do big numbers. That's why Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson did the numbers it did. And that's why, we saw them be interested in a fight like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua and the other events that they have done. Tyson Fury's come back as they try to, build up more in the UK. And this is going to be the same situation. They put out a lot of money to do the fight, but not as much as what obviously they generated in 2015. And, it will be, it'll be a big event, but how much of a fight it will be, who the heck knows? But I mean, to answer the question.
And don't you dare think for a second that this fight is happening purely out of the goodness of his heart. Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest tactical minds in boxing history. His defensive genius is the stuff of legend. His footwork is poetry. His ability to make opponents miss while landing clean shots has earned him an undefeated record that most fighters only dream about. Pacquiao's team knows this. They are not sleeping on Floyd. They have made it explicitly clear that Mayweather will not be standing still waiting to get hit. He will move, he will pivot, he will circle, he will frustrate. He will make you feel like you're trying to punch a ghost wearing a designer watch. Manny respects Floyd, but Manny also believes with every fiber of his being that this time will be different. This time, he is healthy. This time, he is hungry. This time, he has something to prove that goes beyond belts, beyond rankings, beyond money. He has a score to settle with history itself. And let's be honest about what's really fueling this spectacle, because the analysts certainly aren't holding back. Max Kellerman, one of the sharpest minds in sports media, has weighed in with his signature blend of enthusiasm and skepticism. He acknowledges that the financial magnitude of this rematch is enormous, while also asking the uncomfortable question: does this fight have real competitive stakes, or is it feeding off the legend of what these two fighters once were? Kellerman sees Pacquiao as the more emotionally invested fighter, someone driven not by the paycheck, but by genuine competitive fire. As for Mayweather, Kellerman hopes he cashes in enormously, because Floyd's involvement is what makes this event a global phenomenon rather than a regional curiosity. And then there's Paulie Malignaggi, who is never one to sugarcoat anything, calling this rematch largely what it is: a financial opportunity wrapped in nostalgia, sprinkled with star power, and served to fans who are still hungry for the fight they feel they never truly got. Malignaggi points out with his trademark bluntness that their first fight lacked championship significance, and that this one carries even less traditional boxing weight. But here's the twist. None of that matters because people are going to watch anyway, and everyone in that conversation knows it. Enter Netflix, stage left, with its bottomless wallet and its 300 million global subscribers. The streaming giant has swooped in and changed the financial architecture of this entire event. There are no pay-per-view fees, no ordering codes, no scrambling to find a sports bar. You open Netflix, you click play, you watch two of the greatest fighters of their generation throw hands in what might be their final major statement. Dan Rafael, the veteran boxing journalist who has seen everything, notes that Netflix's involvement brings unprecedented exposure while also tempering expectations. This fight will not replicate the historic financial ceiling of their 2015 bout, but the projected payouts for both fighters are so substantial that walking away from this deal would have been, frankly, financially irresponsible. Both men are getting paid, both men are getting a global platform, and both men, to their credit, are doing the work in the gym to make sure nobody feels completely robbed when the final bell rings. Speaking of the gym, the training footage is electric. Pacquiao is back with Freddie Roach, his legendary trainer, and watching those two work together is like watching a painter return to their favorite canvas. The speed is there. The combinations are sharp. The timing, that beautiful, unpredictable, devastating timing that made Pacquiao one of the most thrilling fighters on earth, appears to be intact. He's also incorporating old-school stick conditioning drills, painful, grueling exercises designed to build pain tolerance and mental toughness. Because Manny Pacquiao apparently decided that normal training was too easy, and he needed to add suffering to his schedule just to stay sharp. And on the Mayweather side, Floyd is doing what Floyd always does. working with surgical precision, maintaining his technical brilliance, preparing to execute a game plan that will be simultaneously masterful and, if history is any indication, potentially maddening to watch unfold in real time. Both fighters have cleared their medicals, drug testing is confirmed, the regulatory boxes are checked, everything is official, this is happening. And at the end of the day, beneath all the drama and the skepticism and the cash grab allegations and the Netflix deals and the Max Kellerman monologues and the Paulie Malignaggi reality checks, there is something undeniably compelling about this moment. Two legends, one unfinished story, a rematch a decade in the making, fueled by one man's refusal to let his brain tell him he's tired and another man's undefeated legacy that still looms over the sport like a beautiful, immovable monument. Whether this fight delivers fireworks or frustration, whether it becomes a classic or a cautionary tale, one thing is absolutely certain. The whole world is going to be watching. And honestly, so are you.